With a franchise as big as Pokemon, there's bound to be some lost media involved with it, from the anime to the games to even some more obscure things. Today, we'll be going over some instances of Pokemon lost media, some of which is still lost to time, some of which was lost for years before finally being discovered, and some that just might not have even existed at all. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that, look at this analytics chart, and let's discuss some Pokemon lost media. The 2004 Pokemon anime episode, titled Battle of the Quaking Island, Barboach vs. Whiscash, is an unaired anime episode from the Advanced Generation. It was intended to be the 375th episode and was about Ash and his friends getting caught in an earthquake caused by a Whiscash on their way to visit Teutopolis City. The episode was supposed to air in Japan on November 4th, 2004, but was pulled a couple of weeks before the initial airing date due to a recent earthquake in Japan at the time. The episode was listed as being postponed, but never ended up airing or making it to any home media releases. A short preview of the Japanese episode still exists and is on YouTube, but the full episode remains lost and was most likely never dubbed, since the Japanese anime is way ahead of the English anime, especially at the time. Since this episode, the move Earthquake, Fissure, and Magnitude have never been used in the Pokemon anime as well. There's a few other instances of lost Pokemon anime episodes, most notably the infamous Porygon episode, which did air in Japan. The episode featured flashing lights, which is why it was so controversial and never aired outside of Japan. However, a dubbed version supposedly exists, although it is unconfirmed. Veronica Taylor, the voice of Ash Ketchum, claimed in a 2004 interview that they hadn't dubbed the episode, but planned on doing so in the future. In an online Q&A with Maddie Blouston, the late voice actress for Meowth in the English dub, she claimed that 4Kids did complete a dubbed version of the Porygon episode, but due to the implications the episode had in Japan, it was unable to be aired. In 2016, Eric Stewart, the voice actor of Brock and James and also the voice actor for Seto Kaiba and Yu-Gi-Oh! If you didn't know, also said the episode was dubbed and that he had even seen it. Despite all these conflicting claims, there's still no concrete evidence of the episode ever even being dubbed, and it's possible that the episode is still out there even and is lost. Another famous episode to never air outside of Japan was the Legend of Dratini episode, where Ash and his friends go into the Safari Zone and have a gun pointed at them by the Warden. It was confirmed by Eric Stewart that this episode was dubbed though. There's a few other anime episodes that are unaired, and although there aren't concrete evidence for any of them existing or not existing in their dubbed form, they mostly have the same backstory as the last two episodes we just discussed. That about does it for lost media when it comes to the episodic Pokemon anime, but I briefly want to mention this movie script for the third Pokemon movie. The third Pokemon movie is the one with Entei and focuses on a young girl named Molly. It turns out that the original script for the movie was much different and would have focused on the origin of Pokemon and how they came to inhabit the world. The proposed script with this plot was rejected and the movie was reworked into what it is today. The original script was never animated or voiced over or anything, however it was reportedly auctioned off for 1 billion yen or about $8 million US, and was never released to the public. The price seems a bit too high for me to believe personally, especially since there's very limited sources saying this even happened, although it does still seem very likely that the movie originally had a different plot and an alternate script exists out there somewhere and is lost media. Now for my personal favorite bit of Pokemon lost media that was sort of found, Pokemon Live. Pokemon Live was a live-action Pokemon musical that went on in the United States from September 2000 to January 2001. I even remember seeing this live as a kid, and I got this weird Pokemon themed toy sword that I'll put on screen here if I can find it. A professionally recorded live version of the musical was reportedly shot at one of the shows in Chicago and was planned for a later TV and home media release on DVD. No official recording like this was ever released, however, but some low quality recordings of the musical exist on YouTube and elsewhere. One of which was uploaded by Chris Mitchell, who worked as a stage manager on Pokemon Live. He said they never released a home media version of Pokemon Live because of the lack of interest and monetary concerns, since Pokemon in the year 2001 wasn't as big as it was in the late 90s. People were able to find a promotional video though where Brock's voice actor mentions a Pokemon Live DVD release, and the script of the Pokemon Live musical was later found, but the professional recording that was intended to be edited for a TV and DVD release has never been found. There does exist a professional recording of Pokemon Live that aired in Dubai though, although the show that they saw in Dubai is much shorter and different than Pokemon Live was in America. Chris Mitchell does also have a video on his channel about the making of Pokemon Live if you want a behind the scenes look, leading up to Pokemon Live's premiere at the Radio City Music Hall in New York City. In 1999, a game called Pokemon Picross was announced in Japan and was featured in many Japanese magazines. The game was never officially released and was cancelled for unknown reasons. In April of 1999, a Japanese exclusive download-only Super Nintendo game called Picross NP Volume 1 was released though. This was a Pokemon-style Picross game that, interestingly enough, was a downloadable Super Nintendo game and is believed to be what Pokemon Picross was reworked into, although this is unconfirmed. Pokemon Picross for the Game Boy Color was lost for over 20 years before it leaks online in September of 2020 as a part of a big Nintendo leak. The leaked game seems to be complete, so it's uncertain as to why the game was never officially released. Another piece of Pokemon Lost media to come from this leak was the original beta for Pokemon Gold and Silver. This is known as the Space World demo, as it was the build of the game that was playable at Space World in 1997, a Japanese convention. Gold and Silver didn't release in Japan until November 21st, 1999, making this an incredibly early build of the game. For over 20 years, all we knew about this demo was word of mouth from people who played it, and a small amount of pictures and screenshots from the events. There were tons of rumors about this beta for years, but the beta finally leaked, revealing that it was very different from the final build of the game. There's a lot of different Pokemon, like the starters even. The grass starter line still somewhat resembles the Chikorita line, and is most likely just an early design of them, but the fire and water type starters are very different from the final forms. There's dozens of other Pokemon too that were cut from the final game, and a lot of Pokemon that had major design changes and very few that went through no design changes or little ones. I can make a whole separate video on this topic since there's so much information to cover here, but on screen I'll show some of my personal favorite beta Pokemon from the Space World demo. Maybe one day we'll see more of these Pokemon designs brought back in future Pokemon games, as it is speculated that some Pokemon released after Generation 2 were based off of these beta designs. For example, there was a Tangela evolution in this demo that was cut, until Tangela finally received an evolution in Tangrowth with the release of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. While the version of the game shown at Space World was locked and didn't let you progress too far into the game, with the ROM file that was leaked recently, people were able to unlock the game to past that point and see the whole map, which I will show here. The game was still largely incomplete because it is a beta, but the beta map loosely resembles the final map with some more islands, and it also had 14 different points you could fly to as opposed to the final game, which only had 10 in Johto. All of the towns and locations look pretty different from the final game, although you can see some early inspirations for towns that resemble Ecruteak City, and this town that looks like it could be an early version of Goldenrod City. I will leave a link to the Reddit post with this map in the description if you want to take a closer look for yourself, as well as a Lost Media wiki page where most of this other information was found from. Another Lost Pokemon game, if you even want to call it a Pokemon game, is Pokemon Learning League. This was a web-based learning game that was up from 2006 to 2009. It started off as a free game, but in 2007 the game required users to have a paid subscription. The site had lessons on science, math, language arts, and other skills, many of which were very hard to find until early 2021. Lost Media wiki user Emmett_Cal had downloaded the site's files when the site was still up and uploaded it to archive.org. You can check out the full site today if you really wanted to for some reason, after having it being lost for nearly 12 years. I remember seeing ads for this back in the day, but I never personally played it myself and honestly kind of forgot it existed until I was making this video. And those are just some pieces of Pokemon Lost media. There's some other things out there of course, but these are just some of the ones that I found the most interesting. I'll leave a link, of course, to the Lost Media Wiki in the description so you can check out more Pokemon Lost Media or other Lost Media in general. There's a lot of Lost Media out there, surprisingly, and I fall into quite the rabbit hole with it, especially when it comes to TV shows from my childhood on Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. Also, consider leaving a like on the video if you want to support me, and subscribe for more Pokemon videos. Thank you all so much for watching, have a great rest of your day, I'll see you all next time, and bye bye.